G'day guys, Barry Wheeler here once again for our street by street history of South Hobart. Today we've got a pretty big one ahead of us. We're on Cascade Road. Behind me there is the iconic Cascade Brewery. Doesn't get much more iconic than that in South Hobart. So let's take a bit of a walk while we have a chat about the history. So as we take a walk through the Cascade Gardens, which we will speak about very, very soon, we'll have a bit of a chat about the brewery. If you didn't already know, and I'm sure a lot of you do, the brewery is one of Hobart's best known landmarks, and certainly one of South Hobart's, and a tourist attraction in its own right, as opposed to how beautiful South Hobart is. But it was established by Peter de Graves back in the early to mid 1800s. I think it was around 1832-ish, and is currently Australia's oldest operating brewery. It's actually, well, it's 7 stories, but part of it's kind of fake. It's just a facade to match the other side. But it was, the main structure was erected in 1927 and incorporates various architectural styles, mid-Victorian, etc., to try and keep in with the other buildings that were built beforehand. It was built initially to house the up-to-date brewery plant, and it facilitated increased output and manufactures some of the best beer in the country, if not the world. I'm sure you will agree. Now, as we walk through the gardens, these were established when there was a tram that ran along Cascade Road, and was established in and around 1893. They were adjacent to the tramway, and electricity supply was taken from the tramway to light up the gardens, and could be used in the evenings. Throughout summer, the gardens were quite popular in the evenings, and they had open air entertainment and things like that. There's ads and such that I've read through old Mercury newspaper articles around the early 1900s, celebrating and advertising the fact. Now, the tea gardens, by all reports, were thriving right up until the 67 bushfires, where it was absolutely decimated. But you can still see off in the distance there some of the walkways that lead up the hill, and the big boulder trap down there that was established shortly after the fires. Now, we can't see much of Mount Wellington today due to the cloud, but I promise you it's there. The Cascade Gardens are a personal favourite of mine, and I've had numerous birthdays, Easters, Christmases, family celebrations there, and it's just beautiful. I encourage you to pop along and enjoy it if you get a chance. I even had one of my boys' naming day there, in fact. Just a beautiful place to be. Now, as we come down here, we're going to approach the Cascade Hotel, bit of a stalwart in the area as well, and as I've mentioned on previous episodes, yet another local pub of the area, which not just South Hobart, but Hobart's renowned for in general. As we walk towards it, we'll walk past the St John's Hospital, which is a well-established hospital here in the area as well. But as we approach the Cascade Hotel, which still operates and is very strong even today, and sits at 22 Cascade Road. It does now, but it was first licensed way back in September 1846 by a gentleman named John Winter. And obviously way back then there were very little by the way of public buildings, and so the pub here was used for a variety of different things, and it was almost a pseudo community hall as such. Now the new community hall, or the more recent one, actually sits about 100 metres down the road there. But it was even used, a little bit of history, even used for a coronial inquest back in 1893 into the death of a Mr. William Brundle. Now he unfortunately passed away whilst cutting down a tree up near the Cascade Brewery, but the inquest found that essentially when he was cutting it down, the tree fell the wrong way and squashed him, which certainly not a nice way to go, but it was deemed an accidental death, so no foul play to be heard of there. So that's it, guys. An exciting and bit of a longer one today, but you kind of expect that with a street with so much history in a town that's flourishing with it. As I said, I'm really enjoying bringing you the history of South Hobart. Next week we'll pop along to Congress Street and we'll get into it. Thanks again, guys, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.